Welcome everyone to the Casper Podcast, where we take a deep dive into blockchain technology and speak with those who are building the future of the decentralized web. Today we have a special guest, someone who's been working very closely with the Casper Network as part of our grant program. I'm excited to welcome Nir Blumberger, CEO of XP Network, to the show. Nir, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Joe. It's great to reconnect again, and we are very much looking forward to speak about everything going with XP and with the integration with Casper, everything that is building up in that amazing ecosystem.
Nir, we first connected at NFT NYC right around the time you started integrating XP Network with Casper. It's been amazing to see your progress since then. Could you share just a little bit about how XP Network got started?
XP Network started that April 2021, and that was when we basically, myself and our co-founder lead engineer, Ubi Edelstein, which was working with me also on our first work on different communities building and different marketing projects. Him and myself and other advisors, we decided that we can bring a lot to that booming NFT market. It was just on the verge of basically shifting from those blue chips NFTs that were, going crazy for millions of dollars for just an art item, which is the NFT. So it was in a very significant way, a very booming market. And what we saw and what we had also privileged to be exposed to is to that site that NFTs are not going to be just about those trending images. So NFTs has more to offer, and more to that, NFTs could actually be the way to drive mainstream communities and mainstream users and different kind of utility applications to the crypto space, which is basically the holy grail everyone in the crypto space are talking about. And that got us very, very excited. The thought that we can be part of that, and also that privilege of getting the understanding that we are just on the verge of either act on this or miss basically delivering something great.
You mentioned NFTs are often seen as the building blocks of Web3. They've definitely captured a lot of attention over the past few years. Can you explain how XP Network fits into that, especially as an NFT bridge? What does it mean to have an NFT bridge, and why is it so important for a multi-chain future?
So that's a great question, and I would break it into two small answers. So the NFT bridge side of things is the ability to move NFTs from one blockchain to another in a very secure way, and to make sure that that transaction is done in the most easiest and most compelling way, and a very smooth experience to move basically one NFT from one side to the other. And the second part of the answer is that what does it mean, the multi-chain NFT bridge, like in terms of how we approach to it? It is, again, moving NFTs from one chain to the other, but the whole idea here is that the only future for the crypto markets, the only future, and we said it from day one of XP Network, is a unified future. So that means that in order for basically the crypto space, there are no real competitors. The only way to do it is to connect in with bridges, all of those isolated islands, which are the blockchains, right? So like if for example, a blockchain A only has 1,000 users, it's a new blockchain of indie developers that are building up, this amazing new tech, and that blockchain could possibly be the best blockchain for something specific, for games, for music NFTs, for, you name it. That blockchain has a very, very, very low solvability or even exposure rate for any matter, right? And what happens is that, those big islands, like for example, Ethereum, are basically the comfortable option because everything is there. Everything become, they were first to introduce the smart contracts and all of that. And because of that, they are sort of monopolizing the market. And with creating those bridges, it becomes redundant which blockchain was first or which blockchain is, you name it. So because what it means, the bottom line is the ability of any NFT application from our side. Of course, it can be applicable to other utilities as well, but any NFT application that tomorrow wants to start and wants to build and wants to mint NFTs, they don't have to do it on a specific chain. That means they can come to Casper tomorrow morning and mint it on Casper, create a whole project, get a Casper grant, build with the amazing Casper community, and basically create the whole project as a Casper project. But get only the benefit from that and not the limitations that are not specific to Casper, for example. Those limitations are to any blockchain that are basically isolated just to the Casper community. So that project can now work with all of the communities and can send NFTs to all of the different blockchains just as much as if those NFTs were originally minted on, for example, Ethereum. So that gives both to the Casper project and to the Ethereum community an ability to work together. And so that project that just minted on Casper has full access to all of the user base of Ethereum, and the Ethereum user base has full access to the Casper project. And that is creating this exchange of data, NFTs, and value that we believe, and this is why we call it multi-chain NFT Bridge, and not just NFT Bridge, right? So because this is the only way for for the market to actually strive and push forward, and this is beneficial to all blockchains and to all users alike.
So on the website, it says XP Network's motto is "Your NFT future is multi-chain," and that resonates so much with me as well. There's a lot of potential in bridging communities across different blockchains, but could you share your vision for how NFTs and bridges like XP Network can connect these communities and unlock new possibilities? For example, Ethereum has its strengths, but Casper's low transaction fees are a huge advantage, especially for NFT gaming projects. Can you explain how XP Network leverages these best aspects of multiple chains?
So XP Network has about 35 blockchains in the connection list. So that makes XP Network the biggest NFT bridge in the space. And this is also benefit of, again, having the privilege of being first and having an amazing, amazing development team that is truly supporting. Not everyone knows this, but really supporting different kind of blockchains and different kind of smart contracts with every connection we have, with every blockchain that we put on our website and on the availability of the bridge itself. We are going through an entire partnership procedure that is creating the security audits, creating the development communication, testing with both sides, testing internally, testing externally. So we're doing it from A to Z completely, and this is how we feel secure to deliver to the community a reliable product.
So I noticed XP Network has integrated with multiple blockchains, and there's a live feed on your website showing cross-chain NFT transactions happening in real time. That's super exciting. Could you highlight a few real-world examples or success stories of NFTs being bridged between chains using XP Network?
It's actually a tough question, Joe, to be honest. It's a tough question. Just like you said, we have it all live on explorer.xp.network, which is, by the way, the first multi-chain NFT explorer in the space. You can actually see all the transactions that are done from one chain to the other. And aside from that, I would say that the biggest benchmarks that are coming to mind right now are one of the very first transactions that we ever had was a transaction that actually showed the power of value, just from the economic side, not even talking about sophisticated things like items and games and different kinds of collaterals. I'm talking just about, the very simple way of moving NFT from one chain to the other. So for example, we had an NFT that moves from Multiverse 6 to Ethereum, or the other way around, from Ethereum to Multiverse 6. And that NFT, just in that transaction, basically 10 times its price. So on the marketplace of Multiverse 6, it was worth like 10 times more. And that was a sort of basic NFT, no blue chip NFT and nothing. And it's not only worth it, it was not only worth it, it was actually transacted, and there was a complete transaction on that highest price. And the reason for that is because something that could be a commodity on one chain is becoming a rarity on other chains. So this is just like, the simple understanding of like how important it is to bridge and how important it is to make things that are closed on one place available on the other place. And if a chain has a problem, like for example, there was a chain that I won't put any names, but there was a chain that actually was on the way to cease from existing completely. And that puts a lot of NFT projects on the verge of like, okay, what are we doing now? Are we basically getting a new fundraise and rebuilding everything, new development team, and so all of that mess. And simply, they just came over to XP Network and we moved the whole collection and the whole integration and everything just as much as if they were minted on another chain. So they moved it all, basically exported that collection to a different chain, making it available there and making the whole project still alive because of that. So this is or something that we are very proud of. Bottom line, the fact that anyone from any blockchain can come over to any utility of NFTs. Let's take a game, for example. They can click connect, they can choose, and then they are basically using the XP Network API. And then they can choose any wallet that is supported by XP Network ecosystem. Let's say it's a Casper project, and any user can come, for example, from Multiversix or from Ethereum, for example, right, and come over to that Casper project, click connect, select MetaMask, right, for example, and or select any other wallet, right, even if it's a non-EVM, and like Algorand, for example, they can select an Algorand wallet, and then they can just interact with that project completely in a competitive way, right? So the NFTs from that Casper project can actually sit down in the Algorand wallet, right? Without the user even thinking about it. So you don't have to go to a different converter or to different bridge or to anything like that. So this is the kind of seamless experience that we are aiming and building to create with the bridge. So users don't even feel that they have different chains going for them. Only what matters is whatever wallet is comfortable for the user, they can connect to whatever project, no matter where it sits. And this is, I would say, the goal benchmark for XP Network altogether.
So there's been a lot of buzz around NFTs and what they really are, but there's a fair amount of skepticism. Many people still don't understand the full potential of the technology. What are some of the biggest misconceptions that you've encountered?
Well, the first misconception that I think about is really the fact that NFTs are just images. One of the biggest things that we are making sure to communicate is, just like you said, when we started, is the fact that NFTs are holding so much utility in them, and the showcase for that is all of the major blockchains are supporting them, investing in them, and nurturing basically projects and giving grants for projects that are NFT based. You know, the biggest notion is really that NFTs are, I would say, simple, right? But they are not simple at all. NFTs can do so much. Games can onboard users without even connecting a wallet. Just users coming over, starting to play the game, and having interactions with all of those things that are NFTs. It's not like some code, right? It's NFTs. If it's cards, if it's a lottery, whatever, right? It's all of these NFTs. The users are interacting with them. And then when the users wants to cash in, for example, or wants to do any kind of interaction, then that user is being prompted in to create a wallet and basically set up the crypto side of things. But NFTs are really given the ability to be free of the crypto side, right? Mm-hmm. And because it's visual, it's simple, it's clear, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be like crypto head to interact with it. And this is, I would say, the biggest misconception, that NFTs are either too simple or too complex because it's crypto, right? So it's not labeled as crypto and not labeled as just images. It's much more than that. So I would say this is a very solid misconception that we are also working to rebut in some cases.
So it's clear the NFT space is still early, but we've seen rapid growth in areas like DeFi, meme coins, and gaming. Where do you see NFTs playing a role in the future of Web3, and how do you think they'll contribute to onboarding the next wave of users?
I and the XP Network team, we believe that there will be so many NFT projects that are basically might even, completely push the boundaries of what it means to be a user in the crypto space. So these kinds of integration, getting users without the whole process of setting up wallets, this could be really the key to unlock true mainstream, any average Joe that is coming for the benefit of the project and for the benefit of the utility without any value or any interest in the crypto side, right? So this is what we see in terms of the future of NFTs, like complete detachment from the crypto side of things and complete onboarding just based on utility. And of course, the crypto onboarding is the big challenge for not just for XP Network, but for everyone in the space, to make sure that it's becoming easier and easier once they're actually hooked into the project or the utility itself.
Wow, it sounds like you've built an incredible foundation for NFT projects to thrive in a multi-chain world, where I think that is where we're naturally headed. And as you look ahead, what's next for XP Network, and any new developments or milestones you're particularly excited about?
First of all, we are in a very short time, we are launching the complete decentralization of the bridge. So that means that to this point, we've been working on a semi-decentralized module, which allowed us to control the security of the bridge to the full extent that we felt is right and secure to the bridge, and to our users, to build the trust around the brand of XP Network and the bridge itself. now we feel secure enough and we are trusting enough the technology to push the bridge to full decentralization, which will bring a vast of new opportunities and new abilities to the bridge and to its users. And this is something that's coming in the next couple of months, so it's really imminent. And in terms of the integration and the availability of XP Network, the biggest thing that anyone can expect to is to see XP Network integrated in the majority or even every NFT project to the point that it makes it super easy for everyone to interact with any NFT project that is coming to the market. And the growth of the NFT market is the growth of XP Network. And we are very much keen and looking forward to see what the future holds in terms of new projects and new utilities that are coming in. And we are making sure from our side to push and to integrate XP Network behind the stage of every project to make sure that every project is becoming fully multi-chain ready and available to interact with different communities of different blockchains.
Nir, it's been an absolutely delightful conversation. I love the multi-chain vision you're building with XP Network, and I'm excited to see how your integration with Casper continues to grow. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Appreciate it, Joe. Looking forward to our third session together.
Well, that's it. We're pretty much out of time. But if you'd like to be on the Casper Podcast, send us a message. We'd love to hear what you're building and what you're working on. Keep building, and we'll see you on the other side.